I want to thank you for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk, where we ain't scared. My name is A1, and I hope everybody had a good week. Hope you got some good, productive time invested in your businesses. If you're entrepreneurs, you spend some time with your family and friends. And so for those of you that continue to support this podcast, let me say thank you. I appreciate you. It's very important. If you haven't subscribed, but you like it, please do. And for those that may be listening for the first time, if you like it, subscribe. Subscribe. Also, you may have seen on social media, IG, and also, Facebook, the mugs, the We Ain't Scared Talk mugs. Look, these things are awesome. They're 11-ounce mugs. They are black with the white We Ain't Scared Talk, the lion, on it, and it is a very strong statement piece. It's only $17. You can go to Etsy.com and you can search for under @We Ain't Scared Talk. And then also, of course, it's on my IG page. So thank you for those that have purchased your mug, and look forward to more. So, and I have a few coming in, so I'll be taking some photos as well this coming or over the next couple of weeks. So thank you for that. And let's see. Here we go. One more sip of this lovely coffee that you guys know I love. Starbucks, love ya. You keep me going. All right. So let's do this. Today's topic, we're going to just go ahead and jump into it. And some of this is some of the things that are left over from the Nipsey Hussle situation. And there was this sort of thing in the air about revolutionaries, men that literally sacrificed their life for the greater good. And in this particular scenario, the black community. So the title of this podcast is, Why Are Dead Revolutionaries More Respected? Why are dead revolutionaries more respected? So in essence, when they're alive, they just seem to be a part of the backdrop of society. But all of a sudden, as soon as they die or they're murdered, let me just say that, then all of a sudden there's this awareness. So we want to, I kind of want to delve into that. And of course, as always, I have a lot of notes. So let's start with this. People are going to have to come out of their comfort zones. And I know that's a overused expression, your personal comfort zones. But I think it's used or overused because no matter what's going on in life, we'll crawl back to them when we're dealing with something or we don't want to deal with something important. All right. So just getting to the notes here, I will admit that, as I said, there's some leftover residue from the Nipsey Hussle situation. And let me qualify. I was a Nipsey fan long before this situation occurred. I knew of Nipsey. I'm not going to say I was 100% familiar with his catalog, but it was about 3-4 albums I definitely have heard, and his most recent album for sure. Now, some people discovered Nip after the incident, and so I mean it's good. I mean I'm torn because if you find out because of tragedy how wonderful someone is and how much they were focused on their community, it's still good. But I just really wish a lot of this awareness and discovery would happen before that person's untimely murder or assassination. Okay. Let's see. So, of course, when it comes to revolutionaries, they're outspoken, they're unapologetic, and in short, they ain't scared. Okay. To speak up and to say things that may not necessarily be popular, but that are the truth. And again, I was struck by the fact that why did it take so long? And how come it took his death, okay, before not just the world, before even, let's be honest, the black community to rally around Nip and show him love. Black people, even though a lot of these revolutionaries have black faces, it's a lot of black people that ain't messing with them. Okay? I mean, and it's almost like after the fact, certain revolutionaries, MLK or Malcolm, then it's like, okay, well, we love you. They can't hear you from the grave. Okay? They can't hear you from the grave. But let me continue. This is a very real problem, in my opinion, because this mostly affects black men. When you think about revolutionaries, and you can do your own research, have your own thought, when you think of revolutionary and black people, you think black faces. You don't really think about a revolutionary being a non-black person, okay, or having a non-black face, okay. But in short, people are seemingly clueless. While again, these black men are alive and they're walking around and you can touch them and you can talk to them. I mean, a lot of people could have pulled up to the Marathon Clothing on Crenshaw and Slauson at any time, okay? But they didn't do it for whatever reason. But at any rate, let me continue. So, most people that came out, they watched, they burned candles, they held vigils, they played this music, they bought t-shirts. I struggle with the fact of sincerity. You know, sometimes sensationalism in someone's murder, especially of a black man, okay, it brings out a lot of opportunists. People become very opportunistic. Hey, I knew him when he was 2. I used to live on the same street. I lived in the same zip code. We had the same area code. We drove the same kind of car. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know, and I'm not saying that everybody is like that, but I am saying that it just felt like there was a rush to the attention, especially from the politicians. Like, I can't remember the politician's name that rushed to submit legislation to rename that square, Crenshaw and Slauson area, Nipsey Hussle Square. Okay, now, again, my thing is, if this man was so important to you, this revolutionary was so important to you that you literally within a week submitted legislation to have the area named after him, how come you couldn't have did that while he was still alive? You could have done that. People would have supported that. But let me continue. Now, here's some other, as I started to allude to earlier, other revolutionaries, black male revolutionaries that changed the world. MLK, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Huey P. Newton, the Black Panthers, okay? Tupac. Now, I know there are many, David Banner, Killer Mike, T.I. Those are some other revolutionaries that are very outspoken and want to see a positive difference in their communities. That people, they see them, they hear them, but it to me, pun not intended, it's like white noise though right now. It's white noise, it's in the background. Well, they're always complaining. They're always upset about the oppression by white America. They're always rapping about, oh my goodness, the country and the oppression and the lynchings and the police brutality. Oh, when are they going to change the subject? When America changes their behavior. How about that? These men don't live lives of secrecy. They're very vocal. And most of the time, the whole world they know exactly who these men are, again, and where they're from. So there's a part of me that draws a conclusion, and this is my theory, that those people that want to come burn candles and discover these dead, these activist revolutionaries after they're dead, they come out of the shadows after the voice has been silenced. I want you to really hear me and where I'm going with this, okay? They want to come out of the shadows after that revolutionary's voice has been silenced forever. And those are the haters. Those are the opportunists. Okay, and I can only go there because of what I'm seeing. The news coverage, the media hype. You had the Staples Center. 20,000 people came out to say goodbye to Nipsey. 20,000 people. Imagine if 20,000 people, those same 20,000 people, found their way over to the Marathon Clothing when that man was alive. Imagine. And you telling me all 20,000 of those people supported this revolutionary? No. They were there for a show. To say I was there. A revolutionary is a lonely existence. It's not popular. It is not embraced. They're not sought after. They are ostracized. They're looked down upon because they are the thorn on the rose of making you think and looking at things in society that are ugly, that you don't want to deal with. These black men are heroes. These revolutionaries. Now, especially the non-black groups. Let me just deal with that. Okay, that tuned into the memorials, the funeral processions, and then all of a sudden begin streaming, Nipsey's or that person's music or speeches, or Muhammad Ali. They started watching a lot of his fights after he passed. It's always after the fact, right? And now I will say this: stream like crazy. He owned 100% of his masters. So that his kids are taken care of. They all have trust funds. But stream. The more, the merrier. Now, I believe, as I alluded to a few minutes ago, that the dirty little secret is non-black people admire, and they know these revolutionaries are speaking the truth. But they're too scared, while these revolutionaries are alive, to support them for fear of being ostracized themselves. So you know the truth, you know this country's fucked up, and you know these revolutionaries are telling you that, and that you need to do something about it, but your fear paralyzes you until they're dead. Because you perceive them as a troublemaker that's disturbing the natural order of things. Okay? Now, again, my opinion, if that's the case, just don't even come out. Okay? Don't come out and support after my death. Okay? Or after any revolutionary's death. Because I personally know there's a lot of people that listen to this show that don't say anything. They're watching. They're waiting to hear something, sensational. But after I'm gone, I am absolutely certain all the spins and the views are going to go through the roof. That's not ego. That's just curiosity, sick, morbid curiosity that people have. Who is that? Oh, really? Oh, okay, let me go check it out. No, you do that now. You do that now. Okay, and again, that's because it isn't genuine and you're only doing it for free publicity. That's what a lot of people are doing it for. They want to just attach themselves to the hype. There's cameras. Oh my God, what's going on? And we all know politicians do this better than anybody. Now, of course, it's a good thing to get legislation passed that you could not get passed while someone was alive, but this could have been. It's just renaming a section of a street. I mean, everything that you wrote that was written to get that street or section changed to his name was still true when he was alive. The only thing that was different is now he's dead. That's it. His work was still the same. It was still impactful. Okay, so anyway, so to get these, people's attention, we know that when, let me say it this way, after a revolutionary dies, then the attention comes, And then so do the opportunists. So again, why does it take death? I've alluded to that before, but we got to do better. A revolutionary is deserving of respect and attention while they are breathing. What is that expression? Give me my roses while I can still smell them. What they were fighting for is still important, and everybody needs encouragement, especially revolutionaries. Believe it or not, I know they come off strong and I'm together and I'm done. Everybody needs it. You know, their message of equality or unity is still the same. And again, but why do you accept it when they're dead? We all know equality and unity is important. I don't care who you are. You could be the smallest child. If you ask them, should everybody be treated equal? Well, of course they're going to say yes. Do you believe that we all should be united? They're going to say yes. These are the themes. It's not complicated. So why does it get complicated? It's a frustrating question. And to be honest, as I said, I think it has to do with the fact that the only time non-black people want to follow a black man is when he is dead and they can stand on top of him, meaning his grave, in a dominant position. Think about that for a second. There is a psychological component to this. You definitely don't want to call a black man your boss. You definitely don't want to answer to a black man. And if it is a revolutionary saying or talking about equality and unity, as long as you can stand over the top of him and look down on him, then you can agree. That is the problem, because it is oppressive and it is racist. And you probably never thought about it that way. Okay? And again, they don't have to take orders from this man. That's why they can hide behind, well, his tattoos, the street, his hip hop is this. They don't have to hear the person in this black person continuing to condemn white racism and oppression. They don't have to hear him tell them something that they don't like to hear about themselves. And they don't have to answer and do anything helpful other than watch the TV, play a few songs, and say, wow, what a beautiful spirit. Oh, he had such a kind heart. He really did what was best for his people. And then the next day you turn the channel and you go back to your self-absorbed life talking badly about black people. That's how it works. That's the dirty secret. That's what people don't want you to know. Revolutionaries, like anybody else, deserve to get that applause while they're alive and their ears can hear and eyes can see. And again, current revolutionaries, in case you guys don't know, Killer Mike, David Banner, My Son the General, Dr. Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed. And I'm sure you know others in your own community that may not get the press or the publicity that some of these men do. And there are women out there as well. Black folks and non-black folks seem to always be ready for a show. Always, of some sort. And it's sad. I mean, we have become so used to a black man's death. Like the impact of a black man's death, a black revolutionary's death, is more impactful than when he is alive. That is sad. It is scary. And we have to stop that. We have to show love and support, whether we like the message, if it's, again, equality, unity, fighting oppression. We all should be able to get behind that. Now, what if every year, I'm just throwing this out there, we celebrated our current revolutionaries and sold out again Staples or whatever city or arena they're in? This is not hard to do if you want to. Most people will pack out a church on Sunday morning to hear bishops preach, and those same bishops ain't doing a damn thing for the community other than taking the money and buying a mansion or a plane or a luxury car. While the revolutionary is taking the money and they are investing it into the community. Nipsey bought the corner, literally. He bought the corner, literally. And he taught about wealth. I saw something online that said his investments between 2013 and 2019 was over $200 million. Matter of fact, Lauren London had to say, you know what? We don't need the donations. These kids are set for life. He set up trust funds. That's revolutionary thinking. And again, what's frustrating is, why do black folks and non-black folks keep doing this? The next revolutionary that's gunned down, all of a sudden the same people are going to come out. I'm at a place in my life where, it is what it is. There's no more pretending with me. I'm over this. I'm so over pretending that I don't see what I see. I'm done. I'm tired. If all I see is you taking and not giving, you're a virus. You're a virus. And to me, in that same thought process, you're not getting any of my attention for anything. And I'm going to call you out on it. I don't care. You're a leech. Revolutionaries have the often difficult task of speaking truth to power or speaking truth to a thankless generation of people that only want to hear something that's going to make them feel better about themselves or make them feel better about why they aren't doing what they should be doing because they're scared. They're too scared to stand up and say something or do anything of any real substance. And definitely, black folks are guilty of the same thing. There's a lot of black people that they don't want black people to be liberated. Let's keep it real. There's some black folks that do not want black people liberated. And the easy sort of go-to for that is reparations. There's some black people that do not believe in it. They don't want it, which is absurd. So ask yourself, if you're now following Nipsey on social media or you watch the memorial, you're now talking about him, ask yourself why. And then ask yourself, are you now going to do anything in your own or nearby community to help people that looked like Nipsey? Or are you going to go back to your own neighborhoods and lock your door and act like nothing is still wrong? Nipsey was fighting against economic injustice, against black people. And he wanted to empower black people, to inspire black people, to own, to create our own, for our own. It's sad that this is still perceived as radical. That's still a radical thought process for most of America with 3 Ks. Okay? And of course it's because it's still a racist country. But this is why it offends so many non-black people, because in their minds it's radical. No, it's not. It's human. It's right. You want the benefit of being free? You want your own businesses? You don't want to suffer from police brutality? You want equality? And I know, again, the thought process for a lot of non-black people. Well, what will happen to the rest of us if those black people get reparations, or they get liberation, or they're set free from oppression and systemic racism? And what happens if we can actually end police brutality? It's insane. And it's this mentality that keeps the negative cycle of oppression going and going and going. Now, my hope is that if at least one person that hears this wakes up from their selfish way of thinking and does the opposite of what fear is telling them, because we ain't scared, the next revolutionary may have a non-black face standing next to him that will help bring about the kind of change that the black community and the world needs. Because whether you like it or not, if the black community isn't doing well, then the rest of the world will not do well either. We're all connected, whether you like it or not. Now, to all the revolutionaries out there, okay, I'm talking directly to you that are toiling in darkness and lack of support. Listen to me. I believe in you. I support you. I support you. I may not know your name or your face, but I know your struggle. And I know what it's like to be screaming at the top of your lungs and only hear your own echo until the world or family or friends that want to criticize you are waiting for you to just make a mistake. Then everybody can find you. It's amazing how that works. They can all find you when you fucking up. But when they are absent, mysteriously absent, I should say, when you're simply pointing out the lack of fairness and equality in society because they want to wait until a crowd forms around you validating your message. See, look at who's around you now. Those are the people you need to be around when your message finally catches fire. The truth is, if you ain't around me now, as I said, I damn sure don't want you around me when the crowd of support show up kissing my ass, because I can't trust you. Support your local and national revolutionaries. Black men are literally risking our lives to keep shouting and keep talking about how the white American legal and political system is racist as hell. And that we're going to fight for our people, even unto death, because we ain't scared. Now, of course, or as usual, I'm certain you have your own thoughts on this subject, and that's great. As always, I'm one for let's keep this conversation going. It's the only way that we can start to create the change we need. So I want to thank you sincerely for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk. You got some good food for thought. Listen again. Tell a friend. My name is A1, and we